my bright ideas. I'm gonna wait for this spot to firm up a little bit before I hit it with my box blade and smooth it out a little bit. We've got the IH-39 tumble plow on. We're going to my good field. We're going to do some plowing on that. I've been complaining about this field for a while now, right? It doesn't irrigate very well on a certain part of it. It's time to take a look and see if we can fix that. First of all, we got to try to get across the grade. What? It's easier when there's no water in it. The center of my high spot, so I'm going to plow about a third of this field, and in doing so then I'll scrape that third down to get better water flow. Let's just give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I don't even know if this tractor's got enough oomph to do it. I just can't believe it. Might have to go get some WD-40. Set the depth up a little bit higher. It's pulling too hard. All right, let's see if I can pull again. try this again. We were successful last night. We got a little bit plowed. This tumble plow, it's a little bit like a Rube Goldberg machine. It's a Farmall. It's an International Model 39. Neat old thing, but boy, it's got so many levers and cranks and pawls and ratchets and stuff. What I'm saying is it's a little bit complicated. And let's go ahead and try to get it. Make sure we don't drop my camera again. Let's give it the best chance we can of functioning. So I'll take my oil application device here. This is used motor oil from the first startup of this Massey Harris of this Model 33. I didn't let go of the rope. My hitch fell off. That happens to me too often.
What's a hitch?
Well, come here. Look down here. See, this is the drawbar, and this is what it's connected to. And then I had this going through the drawbar, which was connected to this, and there was a little metal screw that's holding this in, and it's probably right around here on the ground somewhere, but I don't see it.
I'll help you.
Okay.
How do I jump?
You jump. All right, let's get the most dangerous tool a farmer can use. frustrating. I guess I can't say it's unexpected. This release pawl is not coming down like it should. It's not releasing or springing back into position. So I happen to have a Leatherman and a 1/2-inch wrench, and that's all I've got with me for tools, and it should be all I need. There we go. All right, I just loosened that up a bunch. We're still, yeah, that might work. We're out of time, but I'm going to keep rolling. I want to get this little section done, right? I should be able to be done with that in 10 minutes. Yeah, less yapping, more zapping. Let's do some stuff. Got done what I needed to. This is the high spot of the field. Plowed it. I'm going to get out here and start disking it up tomorrow, and then we'll start dragging off some of this dirt, try to get this high spot into a bit of a low spot. So I got the field plowed. I was going to disc it and then hit it with the blade, right, with my land blade. But honestly, I drove out here and started with the land blade. Moving it out, and then I think we'll be able to drag out without having to dip. We'll disc it later. We're going to level, plow, dip. But yeah, we're going to level right now. Instead of discing. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's getting me to where I can drive across this crossway any ways I want to. Well, I guess that's as good a place as any to stop. I broke it. Imagine that. A poor welder with a poor design. Ooh. I better pull that forward and get some of the tension off of that tongue. I don't know how I'm going to get that off. That's off that drawbar. So here we go. Let's see, we had, yeah, poor penetration, no reinforcement. All right. We'll have some work to do to clean this up. So poor design on my part, right? I just had this bracket welded. Boy, I didn't have it welded along the back. I had it welded on each side. Wow, that's poorly thought out. With no reinforcing pads, no repads to spread that out. Yeah, and it broke in on the front too. So what does that mean? What am I going to do? Well, it was working okay until it wasn't. And that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll fix it. We'll make it better. But not tonight. It's time to go inside. Sun's down. My kids are all muddy. Wife's probably not very happy with me for letting them get so muddy. But we'll make it do. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll get back here. We'll fix it. All right, it's the next day. I've got a plan, see? So we're going to weld this back to that. We're going to fix that. We're even going to reinforce it. I've got my service truck out here. And by service truck, I mean the wife's Nissan with our generator and my BuzzBox welder. I think I can run it at 90 amps. Maybe it's only 75. I don't know. We'll find out as soon as we get there. The thing is that generator will trip out if we overamp it. I have to use 3/32 rod, 6011. First thing I'm going to do is clean up the metal, grind that up, give myself the best chance of making this work. So I'm going to get this tacked back together, weld it up. I'll bet you'll be half hour. What do you think, David? A half hour?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right, let's give it a shot. It's going to be noisy though, because you know the tractor's or the generator's noisy. But that's just the way it is. Ooh, that's springy. Okay, I think we might have to try to use some hydraulic power. See if that'll help it out. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. We'll fire up the generator. We'll tack weld that on. We're closer than we've ever been. That's about as good as I can do as far as welding with this setup. It's a little bit cold. I can only run that at 75 amps. If I hit 90, it trips out the circuit breaker on the generator. So This will be fine. It'll be better than it was before. So I'm going to I'll pull the ram out of the way, weld all along this back feed in the front. I'll re-secure that up there. I even brought some scrap. I might reinforce it a little bit. I'll think about that. Yeah. So yeah, let me do some welding. I'll show you what we got. All right, I mostly like that. I've got weld all the way around. We won't look at the front because that weld is really bad. I had a big gap. Had the worst time filling that gap. You know what? Better than it ever was. I was looking at my weld on this thing. I only had half of this side and this side welded. I didn't have anything on here. Didn't have anything on the front. I don't know why. I must have forgot. Got so excited just testing it out that I forgot to finish it up. I don't know. We're going to try that and think about whether or not I want to add some reinforcement to it. Let's see what happens. I think I'm going to take a couple of laps and call it a night. My timing's off a little bit on this tractor. It likes to diesel on me when I shut it down, but I think we're back in business, boys. Little bit of excess material in here. We're going to be fighting that this whole time, right? Because it's got this sod in here and we don't have time for this sod to break down. Ideally we disc it, let it sit for weeks, let the grass die, disc it a couple more times, and then we could go ahead and level and move this dirt around way easier. Instead, we'll still probably disc it. Now that I've got it leveled out enough that I can drive my tractors without power steering up and down that corrugate, we can disc it and break it up a little bit more, but it's never gonna, in the time frame we're working, it's never going to get smooth and buttery to move this dirt. So we'll just have to deal with the dirt clods as they come up. Well, we got done what we needed to, not what we wanted. That's a success, guys. We broke it last night. We're fixed tonight. We're good to go for tomorrow. So hey, I'm calling that a win. I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm going to stop this one on a win because that's important to appreciate those wins when you get them. Thanks for watching. And hey, go outside and work on your stuff. Even if you break it, still, you can recover, you can win, you can make it better. Catch you on the next video.